Okay, welcome. Good evening. This is Connie Knudsen, Feng Shui with Connie K. And it is my honor to be here. One moment, let's get this up right. Okay, I'm so happy to see you here this evening. Thank you so much for coming. So, welcome to my webinar. In this webinar, I will be sharing 3 tips on how to de-stress your home to make way for the gifts of the universe. I'll share some of the benefits, how space clearing works, and how space clearing has helped me. Then at some point, I'll share a way for you to continue working with me. Sound good? So from time to time, I'm going to ask you for the thumbs up, if for a yes, and I may not always, well, I'll be checking back from time to time. So when I'm asking for a question, for a yes or no, I'd like to see a thumbs up if you can know how to do that. So right now we're in the middle of a worldwide crisis, and many people are feeling a lot of stress and fear due to the things that are happening in the world right now. It's a little less right now, but it has been for quite some time, and we are still dealing with a lot of things, and people tend to want to hold on to a lot of stuff in a desire to protect themselves from the possibility of starvation or not being able to pay for things they want and need. Now, this is kind of historically kind of human nature. People tended to hoard and hold on to things during difficult times, during times when there's an economic downturn, such as the Great Depression and during World War II. So the problem with this way of living is that it blocks abundance. So when you have that mindset, you start hoarding things, you start holding on to things, abundance can't come in because it's in part because of the physical things. There's just no more physical space, and it's also an energetic thing. So we can continue to do. We have a choice. We can continue to hold on to what we have and stop sharing, or releasing the emotions behind that holding on so tight. Or we can recognize, as I suggest too, that holding on so tightly has been exactly what's been holding us back, preventing us from thriving and manifesting our dreams, including money. The choice is clear, and it's a choice of holding on and holding in, or releasing what is not supportive of an abundant lifestyle, sharing your wealth, or emotional release. So when we share, we have, it needs to come from a sense of gratitude and a sense of fullness, not a sense of obligation. Well, I have to do this, or they told me in a webinar to do this. No, it's from a sense of abundance, sharing because you feel full, you feel that you want to share, and it's kind of like gratitude. When you have gratitude, it's really easy to attract abundance, and when you are grateful, it's easy to share. So the choice is clear, and it's a choice of holding on or releasing what's not supportive of the lifestyle that you're going after. So I think that you can see the picture of the dishes, and what does this picture have to do with space clearing? Well, I'll tell you in a moment, but first, let me ask you some questions. Are you struggling with stress or anxiety? If you're afraid of losing more and more during this pandemic, many businesses have had that happen because they're not able to be out where they were before. Have you been holding on to too much or for too long? And would you love to release emotions, clutter, and things that have held you back? I know the answer to that is yes, because that's why you're here. Would you love to make your home into a peaceful and safe haven that attracts your goals and dreams? And that is part of the purpose of this, to make the holiday, make way for the holidays, make this your home into a warmer, more inviting place for your family and friends, and by releasing, open up the way for the abundance and the money flow to help that come in. So you're in the right place. I know that's why you're here. My intention is to share some information and stories about those who have made huge shifts in their lives, including myself. If the current stress crisis has created stress and suffering in your life, or if you're holding on too tight because of fear, then space clearing can help you release that fear and release all the things that are contracting your energy. Believe it or not, the things that you hold onto, the things you have in your environment, have an etheric field, and that can have a contracting effect on your energy. You want to kind of loosen it up so that when you're in the right, so you're able to release without emotional trauma or emotional fear, because when you get in that space, you're not going to let go of anything. You're just block yourself. So I'm sure you would, and you're here because you want to release fear and anxiety. Part of what this will help, because you want to release fear and anxiety, transform fear into love and anxiety into confident flow. And maybe you didn't know it, but your goals and dreams, you want to manifest your goals and dreams without stress and struggle. This whole process makes it easier. You want to release what's holding you back from your goals and dreams, and protect yourself and your family from illness, loss, and misfortune. That's something that Feng Shui can do for you, is to protect you from there's certain kinds of energy that flow in certain parts of the house every year and every month. So knowing what to place there will really help to protect you. It seems like it's kind of magical, and it does work. So again, for those who don't know me, I'm Connie Knudsen, Feng Shui consultant, author, teacher, and dowser, diamond dowser. I transformed my life in 2015 through the magic of Feng Shui. I released my fears, and I let go of a home that no longer served my highest good. So I now help women magically manifest their goals and dreams and release what no longer serves them. So I'll be sharing in a few minutes three space clearing strategies and tips to help you release what's been holding you back, and as a result, open the way for abundance to attract your goals and dreams. But before we get into that, I'd like to bring our energies together with meditation. So may I ask that you close your eyes and surround yourself with a bright, white, sparkly light. And this is called the prana field. It's your prana field, and it is the source of life for you and everyone on the planet. So you're bringing in that light, and you can say within yourself or out loud, I am the universal energy that creates life within me and around me. Breathe it in and let it go. Bask in that beautiful light. Then, outside of that white prana light, that white prana light. Bring in a blue light, a royal blue light that goes from under your feet all the way up to above your head. And this is called, it's like a firewall, and it is purpose is for power and protection. So this whole meditation is called the tubes of light, and it's a way to raise your level of awareness. So let's stay in that royal blue light for a moment and allow it to protect us. It protects you from everything in your environment and people as well. When you're aware of it, when you allow it to. So you can say with me out loud or inside yourself, I am the power of the universe within me and around me. And this reaffirms the power we have to create the kind of life we choose. And outside that blue light, bring in a rose light, a beautiful, shining rose light from under your feet all the way up to the center of the universe, as high as you can think, high as you can imagine. So in this is the field of love and support. And in this field are all the people, all the loving people in your life who love you unconditionally, including guides and masters, angels, the Christ light, any spiritual guides that you connect with, that you relate to, is in this field. And it doesn't have to be any of the ones that I mentioned. It can be something different. I just mentioned a few. So you can say with me or inside yourself, I am connected to the love and support of the universe within me and around me. And open yourself to receive that. Many times we're blocked at receiving. We're good at giving, but not at receiving. So this, knowing it's there, open yourself up to the possibility of receiving. Then, once you've done that, bring in the violet light. And the violet light stands for forgiveness and detachment. So you're going to allow that violet light to spin clockwise from the tip of your toes all the way up through your body and aura field and go up and release into the universe. And this light, with this light you can say, I am the forgiveness and detachment of the universe within me and around me. Doing this meditation helps you to release what no longer serves you, whether it's emotions, whether it's thoughts, whether it's attachments to the past or to a person that no longer supports you or no longer is in your highest and best interest to have in your life. So allow that light to go through your body and pick up like a magnet the things that no longer serve you and allow them to leave. Then we're going to go to the 1 arm length above your head. And 1 arm length above your head it's like a magical hat, but at the very top of that magical hat is a quantum point. It's a golden light, like a golden globe of light, and it's where your left brain and the right brain work together in perfect balance. And going up there really will help you to make better decisions, about what to release, better decisions just overall in your life. It helps. It's got so many applications. Just go up to your quantum point. Then we are going to take all of our quantum points, whether live or on the replay, take your quantum points lights to a place in nature that is beautiful. Imagine a field. To me, it's a field, but it can be anywhere in nature that's beautiful for you. It could be the beach, it could be a mountain, it could be in the forest, anywhere that for you. And we're going to imagine that we're all together, whether live or on the replay. We're all of our sisters who are working together to transform our lives and to create the life of our dreams. So we want to support each other as we work toward our goals, to work towards becoming enlightened beings and serving the world with our gifts. So we're all together, we're saying hello, we're giving each other virtual hugs and smiling at each other. So in this way, we're supporting each other and we're together in spirit. So it's time to come back to your quantum point and then come back into your body so we can continue with the webinar. So take your hands, warm them up, rub them together, cover your eyes with your hands, open your eyes and release your hands so that we can continue. And we are all on the same wavelength now, and it's wonderful to be together with all of our sisters. So the next question is, what is space clearing? What is space clearing? It is not just a matter of decluttering. It is an energetic clearing of the spaces, people, and things around you. Doesn't necessarily mean kicking people out of your life, but rather clearing your energy in such a way that their negative vibrations no longer affect you. But we're also clearing the etheric field of the things in the environment. So everything has an etheric field. Everything takes up space, whether it's a thought, a feeling, or a material item, and they're connected. So you have it in your environment, your garage, your home, your office. There is a process to release these energy blocks, and it starts with the process of decluttering. But like I said, it's much more than that. And when I talk about releasing people, I mean people both present and past, because it can be people who are already on the other side, but we're still being affected by their energy. It could be people actually in our lives who are physically in our lives, and maybe we haven't had the courage to move on. Maybe they're doing or saying things that are not supportive. And sometimes we stay there to insist on being right. But I say it's more important to be, to choose peace instead of being right. Who cares if you're right or wrong? If you have a conflict inside, that you're letting them steal your peace. So it's better to use the tubes of light and use it to forgive, and forgive both them and yourself. So now I'm going to get into the 3 tips. So tip number 1 is to declutter your home. Clutter in your environment creates a cluttered mind and blocks the flow of energy. It also makes you physically weaker, according to certain studies, scientific studies. This is powerful information. If you want more financial flow, clearer thinking, or better health. There is a principle that you walk into a room that's beautiful and clear and has feng shui balance, feng shui flow. It's not just a matter of feeling good, but knowing where the energy actually is. My teacher, Marie Diamond, actually sees energy, and so she has taught me how to recognize where those are and help people to create that space in their home that they would love to have. So when you walk into a clear, clean room with feng shui flow, your brain wave can go from beta to alpha. If you were beta wave is at just a basic survival level. It's just survival. An alpha level, on the other hand, is a higher level of awareness. And that's where you want to be to manifest your goals. If you are just in survival mode, you are not going to manifest much of anything. You're going to just be able to pay the bills, and that's it. You won't be able to move to higher goals that you may have for yourself. So within a matter of 3 seconds, you can go from beta to alpha, going into a feng shui room, or you can also go from alpha to beta if you go into that cluttered garage of yours. It's just a matter of 3 seconds. So look around at your office, your living room, your bedroom. Look around right now in your mind's eye. You don't have to get up and walk around unless you might miss something if you do that. Do you see excessive stuff, papers, objects you don't need or use, disorder? If so, that's your first abundance blocker. That's clutter is an abundance blocker. It's kind of like creates a poverty mentality. So you kind of stay stuck there. So step number 1 for you, if you have that, and that's most people, is because we a lot of us do hold on to too many things, or we're not organized enough to declutter. We don't recognize that we're holding on to things that no longer serve us. So your first step is to declutter your home, starting with your bedroom. And the bedroom is the place where you can create new prana energy. So the bedroom is where you dream, where you refresh, where you romance as well, but you can also manifest your goals, and you can have some of them on the wall in your bedroom. Don't put a lot of other stuff. Like if you have a vision board there, that's fine, but you don't need a lot of other stuff. Just your bed, maybe 2 side tables, and with a minimum number of items for you and your partner, and that's it. And a lot of bedrooms, people store a lot of things, including under the bed. It's not really a good place for that. If you really want to heal, if you really want to release what's been going on for you, you have to use your bedroom to refresh and to heal and to create. You can dream and actually see what you want. So I don't have it all under control. I've released a lot, but I haven't released everything that I want to release. When I moved to Albuquerque, I did release a lot, and my life today is very, very different from the way it was in 2015 when I first started practicing feng shui. I was able to triple my income in the first 3 years of arriving to Albuquerque with a lot less clutter in my life than I'd had before. And that home that I was living in was just a poor feng shui house with, I didn't know it at the time, but I just had a feeling, door in front, in a poor direction for me. And then the back door was like, it's like money in and money out. So that was one of the first things that I learned about feng shui. You don't want to have a front door and a back door where that you just, it goes too fast. You want the energy to flow, but you want it to meander. So you don't want it to just lose it that fast. So then there's things you can do to cure that. It's not the ideal, but I just didn't want to be there anymore. I knew it was not good energy, even if I didn't know why. So tip number 2 is release fear. Let's see, tip number 1, release fear, anxiety, people and places. We already kind of talked about that, but how do you do that? How do you do that? People who do not support you in achieving your goals, or at least aren't holding you, are you know, not everybody's going to support you, but some deliberately try to hold you back and or have such a low negative vibration that you don't want to be there, because you want to surround yourself with people and positive people who support you and who will bring you up to keep you in a higher vibration. So that's something to work on. One of the things that helped me with that is the tubes of light meditation. Besides physically leaving, it's also besides physically leaving, it's also releasing things associated with those people. Like if you, for example, if you are divorced or broke up with someone, you hold on to the things they gave you and you want to find somebody else, you're holding yourself back. If you move to a new home and you don't space clear first, space clear is an energetic thing. It is not, I'm not referring to just mere decluttering. So if you don't space clear the home, you will be affected in some way by the vibrations of previous tenants or homeowners. The energy can stay in the wall. And if you haven't cleared, it's still there if you have not deliberately, intentionally released. And there are strategies for doing that. So that's tip number 2. Okay, so may I share one of my space clearing stories? So can I get a thumbs up? Not hands up, thumbs up, if that's okay. Thank you. I'm getting a thumbs up. And very good. So one of the things that happened, after I returned from 6 years in living in Honduras, I was petrified of driving, not just driving, but driving on the highways. I could drive in town, it was no big deal, but it get me on the highway, freeway, I was petrified. So much so that my hands sweat as I clung to the steering wheel when I drove on freeways. And when I returned to work at a job in El Paso, I was literally terrified of freeway driving. My heart pounded, and I could only imagine what would happen if one of those big trucks got a little too close to me. I mean, even any kind of a big vehicle, it just, I don't know what it was, but just having gotten out of the practice of driving, I think it had something to do with that and the environment that I was in Honduras. I started shaking and I got off at the first exit I possibly could. And I had nobody to share this experience with. I'm so glad that I can share it with you now, because I felt so ashamed back then that what was it? What was anybody else going to do? I mean, what could they do? I needed to drive to work, nothing else. So I was stuck in a job that I hated, changing stinky diapers, listening to babies wailing and kids and adults yelling at kids. It wasn't what I had bargained for when I got my master's degree in early childhood education. So I had a desire to serve and make a difference in the world. So at that time I was searching daily, almost daily on the internet for solutions, a way out of being stuck in fear, stuck in a lifestyle that wasn't uplifting or abundant and just barely making ends meet, and likely in the beta mindset. One day I saw this beautiful woman being interviewed who talked about how her life was transformed just by moving her bed. Actually, I felt mesmerized by her words and how such a simple change could transform a life. So that woman was Feng Shui Master Marie Diamond. And she has since become my teacher and my guide to personal transformation through the magic of Feng Shui, space clearing, and dowsing. Marie Diamond was in the movie The Secret, and she actually sees energy. She did the Feng Shui for many of the people who are in The Secret. And so she's quite a powerful teacher, and she's very, very inspiring, very full of integrity and love for what she does. And I long to be like that and serve other people in a deep way like she does. So I decided to move my bed, take classes in Diamond Feng Shui, which is Marie Diamond's program, and started to have hope. I didn't mention I was depressed, but my depression lifted, and within about 2 weeks, I had decided to retire, move to Albuquerque, and work from home. I moved, and I haven't looked back. So my life is very different than what it was back then. I didn't know that the things that I had held on to for so many years were holding me back. I just knew that I had to leave that environment and I couldn't take everything with me. So I packed just the things that I could fit in my car and a small space in a moving van. My couch was one of those things. That was something that I wanted to keep, foreseeing that one day I'd want another home and be able to receive guests. And the couch was very special. It was given to me by my dad. So I really kind of wanted to hold on to that. So much clutter and stuff was left behind in the storage shed. Good thing. And along with my stuff, I released my fear of driving. I let my dreams be bigger than my fears. I drove for 4 hours. 4 hours. Imagine that. I mean, that's really a miracle. And landed in a new city to start a brand new life, building a business from home and creating a life that would become much more prosperous than it had before. I did take the set of dishes that I'd received as a wedding gift because I just loved them, even though I rarely use them. And more about that after the third strategy. So you saw the set of dishes. We're going to find out what happened with that. The third tip is meditate. And even though that seems kind of deceptively simple, there's many more things that you can do, but meditation, the way the tubes of light meditation can be used in many different ways. One of the ways is to, when you begin, before you declutter, meditate with the tubes of light. And I have a program, I'm going to lead you in doing this, but you fill all your rooms. You start one room at a time and you fill all the rooms with a violet light. And doing that, you receive clarity in what you want to release. So say you want to release things from your bedroom, or you want to release things from your office. You fill that room including the corners, and that's part of the strategies that I'm going to share in my release and receive program. So the tubes of light meditation has been transformation in my life. I didn't think so. I didn't feel it at first because I was so my energy level was still on a beta level. I think I was just barely surviving at first, and then things started to open up as I practiced it, and I began to release on an emotional level. Things really opened up for me. It takes you to a higher level of awareness, like we did today, and allows you to observe your home and your life as an observer rather than a participant. As a participant, you're kind of emotionally attached to your life. But if you can go above that and get a bigger view of what is going on in your life, it'll be clearer what your next step is. It helps me to be a little more detached and focused on my big goals and dreams. And several of those actually came true this year. This has been an amazing year, despite the things going on in the world. It's been an amazing year for me. Some of my biggest dreams came true. One of them being meeting Marie Diamond in person. So that's another story. But energy is everything, and everything is energy, and everything takes up space. Your books, your knickknacks, the gifts you receive from a significant other who's no longer with you, or Christmas gifts that you no longer use but don't wish to offend the giver. So you keep it around and put it out when they come over and put it away when they're gone. Papers from a job you lost or no longer work at, furniture that isn't the right color, clothing that no longer fits. Maybe you gained weight or lost weight. These items all have an etheric field that takes up space. So even though you can't see the etheric field, they do take up space on a physical, emotional, and etheric level. This is why you hold on, the things you hold on to, they hold you back at a deeper level. By releasing these things, you create more space physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to focus on what you do want to create or bring in. I can tell you, if it's okay, to share another story. Doing my release and receive program one year, a couple years ago, I guess, I don't remember exactly, I had been looking for my significant other. It was a good year for me energetically to find someone. And so I was looking. And so that was the year that, I released the dishes. I released the dishes, even though I just loved them. They were so beautiful. Yet I decided to go ahead and give them away, and see what happens. And in that, I think it was right after finishing release and receive, I got a date. I was invited to a date on Valentine's Day, and I was together with. We saw each other for a while. We didn't. I didn't end up being the Mr. Right, but I have the memory of that, and I feel like my desire to have someone in my life is not as strong, but I was just magical to see how that works. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm going to share one more story, if I may. Can I see some thumbs up if you'd like to hear another story? If not, we can just go on. I don't see thumbs up, so I think I'm just going to go on. So I would love to share an invitation with you. I would love to help you de-stress your entire home so that you open the way for the flow of abundance into your life. So I created, like I mentioned earlier, I created a 10-day online program to support you in releasing on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level, going deeper. It's 10 days because that gives you time to process and take action between each session. Releasing clutter and emotions can and will create emotional shifts, as well as literally opening up space for more to come into your life. It can happen both ways. You can, when you declutter, it can create emotional, temporary emotion, because emotions are coming up, and then things sort of settle down once you get the things moved. So you can let go all at once, but if you've been holding on to something for years, it may not be that easy. Your ego may try to convince you that you still need it, and that's perfectly normal. I really am a big fan of having support in achieving goals, support in even the decluttering process, whether it's with a mentor, whether it's a friend that will ask you questions as you release, and because it just kind of keeps you motivated and moving forward. So like I said, my course is called Release and Receive. It's what is space clearing? So space clearing is an energetic clearing of a home or office, clearing the energy blocks that are in that space. So I have a 4-step process that clears up the etheric field of whatever is in your environment. Everything has an etheric field, like we said earlier. So without space clearing, your home will have energy blocks that hold you back from your goals and dreams, because we can't see it, but they are there. If you're not moving forward, then it's a good idea to space clear at a certain level. Decluttering is wonderful. So one way to do that is to just bring different bags and different boxes and have different purpose for each one. One can be charity, one can be for a friend, one can be maybe keeping, and another one can be for selling, something like that. I mean, it's therefore each one is a different purpose, and that helps you to get a little more organized. So energy blocks can occur because of a big change or emotions that you're holding on to, such as now when we're going through transformational times. This has been a transformational year. Or from any emotional experience that has happened in your life, whether present or past. If it hasn't been released, it's still there. So I have more stories. I'm not going to do any more stories tonight, but I would like to tell you, there's the support. Maybe I'll tell one more story, but we'll see how we're doing with the time. I'm gonna, may I share with you a little bit about my space clearing program? I created it to help inspire, motivate, and support women like you to go deeper and release mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, in addition to physically. Why? Because you're more likely to manifest what you want when you release the emotions behind the stuff in your environment. I personally go much deeper when I'm listening to my teacher. As many times as I've done it, when I listen to her, I go deeper. And when I'm supporting other people with strategies they might not have heard of, I feel I participate too. It's not just me telling you what to do, I do it too. So I created a 4-step process for releasing on all levels and raise the vibration of your home to a higher level. Release and Receive starts on November the 10th and finishes on November the 19th, with 2 days between each session to give you a chance to process and move forward towards creating an amazing high vibration home, all the way making all the while making room for the abundance of the universe to flow to you. And I've taught release and receive a number of times, but this time I'm adding in a bonus session on clearing your space at a spiritual level. So here are the things that you get with the program: a space clearing process that clears and cleanses your space, 4 recordings with strategies to release on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level, space clearing principles and strategies, 10 days to go through your home and release what no longer serves you, and a bonus space clearing session. You'll get practical steps to organize your decluttering process, and which allows you to easily release and receive your goals. And we do set goals at the beginning. Meditations that help you detach from yourself and see your possessions as an observer. Tips to cutting the ties of traumatic experiences and allowing abundance and joy. I'll bring it up in just a minute, okay? And back into your life. And a private Facebook group for the group support and to ask your questions between sessions. So I will be on there every day to check and see who has questions, and I will try to answer them the best I can. So it's a group program that allows you to get individualized recommendations and support in a group setting. We start on November the 10th with the intro and the physical level of releasing. So day 1 is November 10, the introduction and overview. Day 4, November 13, release on a mental level. November 16, day 7, release on an emotional level. November 19 is day 10, and release on a spiritual level, plus space clearing tips and Q&A. So what are the benefits? Benefits are it reduces stress and anxiety. It clears energetic fields of items in the home. It clears your personal energy field and emotions, makes it easier to focus on your goals. It makes it easier to declutter. It makes it easier to track your success and abundance goals. So, what are you waiting for? Isn't it time for you to release the stress and overwhelm that have been holding you back? Isn't it time for you to leap into the field of possibilities? Isn't it time to release what's been holding you back? Isn't it time to release and receive? So let me see if I can bring it up. Benefits. I didn't put it up there. Here's what you get: a space clearing process that clears and cleanses your space, 4 live calls to release on the physical and mental, emotional, and spiritual level with value $400, 10 days to go through your home and release what no longer serves you. The value is $600. Bonus space clearing, value $150. Practical steps to organize your decluttering process and to manifest your goals, $168. Meditations that help you detach from yourself, like I explained, and see your possessions as an observer, value $240. I didn't put here the total here. I'm going to tips to cutting the ties of traumatic experience and allowing abundance and joy back into your life. I've had that on a couple different occasions that come to my mind, and a private Facebook group for group support and to ask your questions between sessions. The value of that is $600. So, but I'm not going to charge you. See, the total when you add it together is $2,625. But I'm not charging that much. I'm not charging you $1,000. Your investment isn't $1,000. It's not $2,000. It's not $1,000. It's not even $500. So your investment tonight is $198. Normal investment is $298, and it going back up after midnight tonight. It'll go back up to $298. So if all this did was to clear your brain fog or release your overwhelm or improve your immune system and health or create a place of peace and abundance, wouldn't it be worth it to you just to have more peace and abundance and manifest your goals more easily, like some of the things that I have mentioned here? So to join, you can click on the registration link. I'm going to put it in the chat box because let's see if I can copy and paste it. I'm going to have to wait until I stop sharing in order to paste it there. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can put that in the chat box for you. Share. Okay. There, you can copy and paste in your browser, and that will copy and paste in your browser, and so that will bring up the registration page. So if you click on the link, not on below, but click on the link that I just posted in the chat box, you'll be taken to the registration page. Then I'll send your invoice by email. So it's you can get started for $98 and another payment of $100. So there's no charge for doing it in payments. That's something that I want to make this possible for as many people as I can who are serious about transforming their life and would really love to have a little more support in doing so. So I would love to be the person that you choose to work with you. And if there's any questions, please raise your hand and I will either raise your hand or type it in the chat. I know some of you don't have your microphone's not working. So I don't see any questions at this time. Would be happy to answer them if you put them in the chat box. So if not, then I'm going to wind this up. And is that a question or is that a yes? If you have a question, I'll answer it. If not, we are going to draw this to a close. And I thank you so much for the ones who are signing up and those who are just participating this evening. It has been my pleasure to serve you. And I look forward to working with you. And thank you to the ones who are signing up tonight. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.